All right. Good morning, my fellow chefs. Well, first of all, before we start, I want everyone to go like this real quick. Yeah, we're about to learn how to cook up. You feel me? Today I'm going to tell you how to make chicken Alfredo. There's a bunch of ingredients you'll need, but nothing that costs too much. A jar of cheesy ragu Alfredo sauce or Bertolli, either one. I don't really have a preferred. 1 to 3 packets of Bertolli noodles with fettuccine noodles. 2 skillets and 1 huge pan to put everything in. Boneless chicken and thighs. I wouldn't think you would like your chicken Alfredo with bones in it. Just saying. If you're frying the chicken, 2 tablespoons of olive oil and some type of flour to cook it with. 1/2 teaspoon of salt. 1/2 teaspoon of ground black pepper and 2 tablespoons of chopped fresh parsley. But the most important thing to have for this is Pam. Start cooking. You can use a 12-inch or a larger pot to cook it with. You want to spray it with Pam, that way when you're cooking, when you start cooking the noodles, boiling it, you don't want the noodles to stick for 2 reasons. You get all the food, and plus it's really hard to wash dishes, so it takes time out your day. You want to fill it up halfway with water and set the stove to about 7. You don't want to burn them too fast. Just let them boil while you're cooking. But stir them just occasionally, just make sure they don't stick. And if you have a taste for fried chicken, I would use a skillet that's pretty large to cook with, and set it to about medium 5 or 6. You don't want to set it too high, otherwise you'll have some results with it. You'll add 2 tablespoons of olive oil to the skillet, then let the oil heat for about 5 minutes, and then you toss the chicken in the flour. Make sure it's all seasoned up and everything. And place the chicken in the skillet and cook both sides for about 10 minutes each. And then once you're done, you want to cut into the chicken, make sure it's cooked all the way. No one likes raw chicken. And here's personally, we've had an incident this past week. Make sure that you do not set the stove other than the highest you set it is 7. Don't set it 8 or 9 or else you can get burnt chicken or the fire station coming to your apartment. Very sickening deal. You can grill the chicken. I prefer mine's grilled. It's very easy to do, but if you don't have some type of George Foreman grill, I wouldn't know how to help you with this. Basically, you can spray the George Foreman grill with Pam. Make sure it doesn't stick. Plug it in. Let it heat up, of course, and then you place the chicken onto the grill, season it, let it cook. It's up to you to judge how good you want the chicken to be grilled at, but I prefer mine well done, all the way cooked through. And that usually takes about 7 to 8 minutes. It's George Foreman. It doesn't take that long. And that's it for that. You can use the same skillet, but I prefer using another one just to have the taste, just ragu, just like the Alfredo sauce alone, not like the parts of chicken or something in it, because that's all going to be mixed in. But I use another skillet to cook the Alfredo sauce. You can use a teaspoon of oil and then pour the Alfredo sauce into the skillet. When you're cooking this, you don't got to do it for too long. Just make sure it's cooked all the way through, heat it through. Make sure it's got some steam coming from, not steam, but steam coming from just for a little bit. And then you got everything you need. The preparations are complete. The chicken's cooked, the noodles are cooked, and the sauce is cooked. So when you're putting everything together, when you're first doing the chicken, you want to cut it up into strips. Make sure it's dispersed evenly throughout the noodles. Now, when you're doing your strips, it's up for you to decide. Personally, I just cut up into little pieces, make sure everyone's got a little something to go around. Now, when adding it to the noodles, you want to stir. Make sure it's evenly throughout the pot for about 5 minutes. It's a good deal. Make sure everyone gets food, because living in the house with 3 big 4 dudes, everyone gets kind of mad when there's not enough chicken to go around. And then you add the Alfredo sauce to the pot and keep stirring. Make sure it's stirred evenly throughout the pot. And then you can, for chopped parsley, I don't know, you can do it. I kind of do it. It's not like I do a lot of it, though. You sprinkle it throughout the pot, stir it all up. And make sure for your chopped parsley, make sure it's not like old or anything, because it can have a bad taste and ruin the dish alone. Make sure it is very, very, very fresh. And stir for about 3 minutes. Make sure everything is served up. And what's the last part? Oh yeah. When doing this, make sure that the stove stays to about 7. Maybe you can do 8, but I would prefer you stay at 7. And once you've done that, you officially made your chicken Alfredo. Serve it out, all that stuff, fry cook status. Oh, and this is just my sources.